So Vanilla Ice came on, and he had just had success with, I guess Ice Ice Baby was already out, right? And so that's why people knew about him. He was just celebrating his 21st or his 22nd birthday on the set. They actually had a little birthday party for him. He showed up on set with a whole entourage of people. I mean, more than anybody needed. I don't know why they were all there, but I guess he needed protection or something. Got on stage, starts doing the song. We're having to dance and move and all this, and he kept forgetting the words to his song.
We have got, of course, Brian Tochi, Robbie Rist, Ernie Reyes Jr, and Kenn Scott, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What's your name? Zeus?
Yeah,
Zeus.
How you doing?
Zeus. By the way, it's Tochi.
Tochi, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
It's Tochi.
It's Tochi! And I love that Ernie comes out just eyeing you all, like he's like, all right, we're going. How are you? Nice to meet you, sir. Welcome, welcome. No, here, so we're going to turn you guys all on here.
Oh, he's going to turn us on.
Chip, Chuck, Charlie, and oh, this is a substantial microphone.
That's why I stand in the back.
Hi, everybody.
I got you, sir. Let me see.
Oh, that was lame. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. I'll probably stand, though.
Let's get that turtle power going. Can we get a cowabunga?
Cowabunga!
That's what I'm talking about, y'all.
All right. Oh, you can hear me now. Hello, cowabunga.
You want to turn your attention and intention?
Attention to intention. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. So, guys, welcome to the Falls. Welcome to Niagara Falls Comic Con.
Niagara Falls is beautiful out here. Loving it. Loving it.
Now, is it your first time here?
No. Yeah. But it's been a long time. I was here with the Police Academy cast.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And you guys filmed a lot of that up actually in Toronto. Humber?
Yeah.
Humber, my old
so
college.
the whole cast, we all came down to get wet in the falls. Like splashing, and I said, this is great. All the negative ions. Loved it.
I absolutely love it. So what's your favorite thing about coming to all these? And I'm just going to get the typical questions out of the way first for you guys.
For out of what? Who?
What's
Why am I here? Who are these people?
Exactly.
Who are you?
Who is this?
I'm just coming to. Excuse me.
No, I was just asking. So when you guys come here, what's been fun? What do you guys look forward to when you come to these shows?
Oh, well, I call these things community barbecues because really it's about the story. You know, you go to a barbecue with all your community people and everyone's talking about what's going on in their lives and, you know, whatever, things that they want to talk about. Well, I come here and it's not only about my story, it's about anybody who comes up and talks to me. And all of a sudden we're sharing this thing that, look, I don't have to promote the movie anymore. It's 35 years old. It's already done. Like my job, basically, as far as that goes, is finished. So why am I here? I'm here to share stories with you guys of this thing that we've all been involved with for 35 plus years, and it still matters. Many of us are having children of our own now and showing their kids this thing, thus making them both part of the community and part of the ongoing story. So you asked me what I like best about coming here? That's it.
Love it. Great answer. Great answer.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Well, for me, it's actually every single one of these people here. Aww. Honestly, we get a chance to meet many of you, and you do, as Robbie says, you share your stories, we share our stories, and it is a community, but everybody's different. Everybody has their own unique story, and it's so wonderful for us to be able to hear it and share it. And so, for me, it's everyone here.
And I'm blown away by the fact that a movie that let's lay it out on paper. On paper, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a movie with men. Let me even hone that down a little bit. Diminutive men in rubber suits doing gymnastics. On the surface, that's what it is. And yet, 35 years later, we're all in this room right now talking about this thing, and many of us are adults. So it's obviously just not some movie for kids. It's a movie that people now have taken in as part of their lives. And they still quote lines when they order pizza. And they still, I hear plenty of people in the wild, not even here. I hear people out in the wild, I'll be passing by and someone will be like, yeah, a little too Raph. And I'm like, how is that possible? You're an adult person and, you should be quoting Moby Dick or something. So, yeah.
How do you quote Moby Dick?
It is.
That's a direct quote.
Yeah.
That's a direct quote. I love that. How about the rest of you? It makes sense now. And it's evolved a lot too, because you think back in the day, you guys are in these suits, you're seeing your eyes through the mouth in some shots, but then you get the newer iteration and it's CG. Is there a part of you that was like, man, that would have been nice to be in that suit? Like the CG, having the CG part of it? Like what?
No.
I was like, no. You like the practical.
No. Well, look, that's kind of a two-part question, or two facets to it. One is, there's a difference between the original movies and the later movies. And I'm not going to diss any movies whatsoever, but...
I will.
Okay.
Me too. Yeah.
Make movie! So the difference is, that first movie captured lightning in a bottle. Whether you like the first one, the second one, or even the third one, doesn't matter. If you like those first live action movies, especially the first two, there's something magical. And I'm going to speak specifically about the first one. You have Steve Barron, who's a visionary music video director. And if you don't know who he is, look him up. He directed some of the most famous and well-known and groundbreaking music videos of all time, including Michael Jackson, Dire Straits, and Aha, Take On Me, the most famous music video of all. So this guy's very visionary. You take him, give him this property called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is like not quite a monster movie, not quite an action hero movie. It's not a superhero guy. It's a weird blend. And then you add in Jim Henson, which is like a sprinkling of magic. And when you because anybody can make a puppet, but not everybody can make a Muppet. And you know the difference when you see them. So when you take those three things and you make that first movie, man, you've got this weird, dark, independent little film that's kind of dangerous. And so there's something there about those visceral turtles that you can touch and feel and see, versus later on when turtles are computer generated. I don't know about you, but when I watch like the Avengers, for example, and I see all the superheroes on screen, when I see the Hulk, I think it looks pretty awesome, but something in the back of my brain knows, without me even saying it out loud, that it's a cartoon living there. And so my willing suspension of disbelief, I don't buy in as much, because in the back of my mind, I know, wow, that's a pretty impressive computer generation thing. So the first movie captures all that magic. When it came to the second movie, or, when you say, do you wish you were involved, or do you wish you were doing the suits? Working in a turtle suit is one of the hardest freaking things you can possibly do. Imagine playing any kind of sport or dancing or anything while wearing a complete scuba deep diving outfit. And you're sweating and you can't breathe, you can't see anything like that. So did we do it the first time and create magic? Yes. Yeah. Do we want to do it again? Not in a million years.
Fair. I worked at a flea market for my buddy's friend, or his parents, when I was younger, and his dad had all of us dress up as the turtles, wearing the full outfit. So I feel middle of the summertime, that's not a fun time
You're right.
at all.
But it's also kind of an interesting thing, I think, is that with the first three, which are people in suits, for some reason it resonates to the audience via their heart. Yeah. Sometimes when you have a CG film or any of those special effects and whatever, you just don't quite really relate to them. You see a lot of action and a lot of stuff, but I think the original Turtle movies, you got to feel their heart and the fact that they loved each other, they loved April, they loved Splinter. So I think that made the difference.
Yeah. And regarding the CG thing, Go ahead, make E.T. a cartoon. I dare you. And tell me people are going to respond the same way.
Well, and I think you see it even with Disney now with a lot of their Star Wars stuff. They're going back to practical effects, seeing that that's where the fans want and that's what they like. And like there's that more visceral feel to it, right? And I would only imagine as actors yourselves, it gives you that much more to work with as well, and to lose yourself in the character. That being said, how is it losing yourself into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Each one of you. I'll start with you, sir.
What's the question? Sorry.
So, actors, you always have to do that deep character dive and things like that. What kind of homework are you doing to embody your characters as turtles? As Teenage Mutant Turtles.
20 years of it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Turtles was always about martial arts for me, because that's how I came into it. Being in the suit in the first movie, that's all I was doing. I wasn't acting, like I was doing martial arts, even though when you're film fighting, there's always, the best film fights reveal character. It's not just motion, white noise. Something's happening in the story, and the character should be revealed through the motion and through the fight scenes. So you kind of are acting, but for me, it was just about martial arts. It was about Golden Harvest. It was about Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li. It was about following in those people's footsteps and trying to become the next Bruce Lee. That was like my whole mentality going into the project. And fortunately for me, it worked out that way. Yeah. And not being the next Bruce Lee, but being able to, go from being inside the suit to playing Keno in the second film. So for me, it's just always about the martial arts.
Right.
But these actors, they have, as far as me, Keno, there's no research. Okay? That's just me. So which one of you lucky ladies? No, just kidding.
Welcome to Canada. How about you guys?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. And I'll tell a story a little later on in this interview thing. But as far as we're actors, and so it's like, some people have different processes. Some people, whatever, they have to. For me, you just get an understanding of what you think the character is, and you do your best. And if you don't do it, they say, act better. And then they fire you. Yeah. And so, no, which has happened to many people. So anyway, for me, basically, is just getting an understanding of what the character is and do your best. Yeah. And for some reason, it kind of worked out. Yep.
It resonated with the fans. Like, we have all these fans here. You said yourself, 35 years later. Yeah, how about you guys?
Research the thing.
Well said.
Thank you. I was saying this at the table earlier today that around the time that I get that job, a few years earlier, Fast Times at Ridgemont High had come out. And all of a sudden, Jeff Spicoli is a cultural meme. All of a sudden, everyone's walking around doing surfer accents. Well, I'd been doing that accent years. I mean, look, for people from Los Angeles around, between 80-something and 90-something, Fast Times at Ridgemont High is not a coming-of-age teen comedy. It's a documentary. Because I went to high school with everybody in that movie, including Jeff Spicoli. There was a guy, Kurt Yaney, he was a surfer, went to my school. I started jokingly making fun of him because he totally talked like this. He talked like I had a real surfer in my high school. And then I went to another high school and there was 4 surfers there and they were all talking like that. So I started doing this thing just as an impression, and I started picking up voiceover jobs because of it. So there's a fair amount of commercials out there from before Turtle Time where I'm doing something very similar. And then by the time they handed me the script for Turtles, I'll say that probably in Los Angeles at that time, there were about 3 or 4 of us who probably could have gotten that job and done it well. I got so lucky that they saw something in whatever I was doing. Maybe they saw that extra bit of Kurt Yaney. And I was lucky enough to win it. And by the time I'm in front of the microphone with the script, I'm like, Kurt Yaney, Kurt Yaney, dude, Kurt Yaney. So yeah.
If I can just add something about Robbie Rist, I mean, first of all, I can't imagine Michaelangelo not being Robbie Rist. That voice is so iconic. No, but
but
there's me, Mikey Kelly, Townsend Coleman, the kid from the Seth Rogen movie.
But they don't have the tone, the thing that you provided for Michelangelo.
You're the Kevin Conroy.
You're the guy. And it really, yeah.
All right, fine, I am.
Yes. Kurt Yaney.
Kurt Yaney! A hand for Kurt Yaney!
Thank you, Kurt. Amazing. So, martial arts being a huge part of your life and a huge part of the stories here as well. How big is martial arts for the rest of the cast? For the rest of you? I know you're a voice guy as well, but...
Most people don't know this, but both Robbie and Brian are black belts in ninjutsu, and when they travel to cons all around the world, they actually do undercover missions for the government. And there's a lot of assassination and a lot of intrigue and espionage going on. Yeah,
both sides of the border.
Martial arts-wise, martial arts was a huge background for me. That's how I ended up getting the part in Ninja Turtles. When I was young, when I was about 12 or 13 years old, I started taking karate. Yep. And just like any martial artist, a young guy or a girl, I just fell in love with martial arts movies. This is all pre-internet, so you still had to go to the theater or have cable when that finally came out. And so everybody, Jean-Claude Van Damme, all the Sho Kosugi ninja movies, Bruce Lee, everything, I was just in love with that stuff. So I did martial arts my whole life, but I set my goal on being a martial arts action hero in the movies. And even when I was young, Ernie's just a few years younger than me, but he was already making movies when he was 10, 11 years old. So when I'm a young teenager, I'm watching Ernie on big screens, and I'm like, I want to be like Ernie. Yeah. So, and then years later, we would go on to work together and become friends and all that kind of stuff, which is totally awesome. But I wanted to be a martial arts action hero. So I trained ever since 1979, I've been training in martial arts. When the first movie came around, I auditioned for the stunt coordinator, Pat Johnson. I was originally hired as one of the foot soldiers. So if you ever guys watch the first movie and you see the big fight scene where Michaelangelo goes, "Oh, a fellow chucker, eh?" How does he say it?
Oh, a fellow chucker, eh?
Yeah, just like that. When Mikey does that, I'm the guy in black doing the nunchucks against Michelangelo. So I'm a main foot soldier, and then the guy that was doing all the fighting for Raphael, he ended up breaking his nose early on in the movie, and he couldn't wear the turtle suit anymore. And so I got promoted from foot soldier to I became Raphael, and from that point, my life changed. But if it wasn't for all my martial arts training to get me to that point, none of that would have happened.
Yeah. I just to point out just something from that scene, I didn't realize it until today, but Michelangelo might be secretly Canadian. Because in that scene, he says, "Oh, a fellow chucker, eh?" So I feel as though Michelangelo has a very strong connection to Canada.
I would say so as well. I'm down with it. Listen, in Canada, we will take anybody, honestly. We're actually offering a few out to you. I mean, Beebs, we love them, but you guys know. No.
Yeah, by the way, Zeus, yes, it's pandering, and I'm not above a little pandering.
I would expect nothing less from you, sir. Thank you very much. From one panderer to another. I appreciate that. So this is great, though, and this is a big crew. What has been the most surprising thing to you guys over the years and over all these conventions and things? Like, is there things that still surprise you when people come out and say, or Examples or anybody? I should have put it as a yes or no.
Yeah, but for me, like it's already been mentioned though, but for me is like meeting the younger kids of the parents who grew up on the movies. Like that's really wild to me to see that happening. And we're, gaining like a whole new fan base of kids that are like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. So that's like really like that I could have never expected. And that's really cool to see.
If I could ask a question of both Ernie and Kenn, like occasionally people will come up to me and go, I took up martial arts because of your character. And I'm like, you understand it's because of the character and not me, because if you watch the movie, that's exercise. And if you look at me, exercise, maybe not something I necessarily do all the time. So that said, do you guys not feel a certain level of gravity when someone says, I became a martial artist because of Raph, or like because of Don, or like, I mean, does that happen?
Yeah, for sure, it does. And that's, for me personally, going back to the martial arts, because it always kind of goes back to the martial arts for me, is that's like one of the really best things about it. Like the adoration and everything else is like super cool and makes you feel great or whatever. But to really actually see how it's affected so many people, like, and a lot of it is martial arts. I get that every con that I go to, like, people saying, oh my gosh, like I would have never done martial arts, and now they're school owners and, their kids are doing martial arts, or their whole family does martial arts. So that's like, for me, like really an amazing thing. But it's not just the martial arts, because a lot of the people also come and say, hey, how much this movie has helped me through hard times. We don't know what their childhood stories are. We only had one VHS tape, and it was that movie, and we just played it over and over and over, and it got me through this or got me through that. So the way that it, actually affects people's lives, and how that, effect carries on all the way into their adult life, is something that's like really super amazing.
I was going to say Ernie really encapsulated it. To your question, what really surprises me is this is generations old. This is our 35th year since we did the first movie. And still, to have it resonate, yeah, it's amazing. It was actually my dad who played Leonardo. And so, it's just amazing to me how as Ernie says, the kids, because there's generations, and the people who saw it initially passed it down, they had kids, and their kids had kids. And it just blows me away to be able to meet all the people who it's impacted. Right. It's just an amazing thing, and it's a joyous thing. At least for me, and I know for everybody here.
Sounds like a happy weight to have on your shoulder.
It's a very happy weight.
Yeah. I did want to let everybody know, I'm not here to maximize your time either. If any of you folks have any questions for these guys up here, there's microphones on either side right here. Just walk on up there, and I'll definitely come right to you there. Oh, we got lots.
I don't need a microphone.
Oh, good for you.
What do you guys remember working with Vanilla Ice? What was it like working with Vanilla Ice?
So the question, just in case they didn't get it on the recording, was what was it like to work with Rob Van Winkle?
It was pure, unencumbered joy. No, it was, look, you're talking about a time, originally, Vanilla Ice was not supposed to be in the movie. The producers went to this, I forget what music company it was right now. I wrote about it in my book, though. But the producers went to, I think it was SBK Records. And they said, hey, we want to do a tie-in with some kind of band or anything. So the original band that was supposed to be in the Ninja Turtle movie #2 was Wilson Phillips. I don't know if you guys know Wilson Phillips. Yeah. Wow. But it was supposed to be Wilson Phillips, and then they ultimately decided that the Wilson Phillips sensibility did not necessarily match with the Ninja Turtle sensibility. So SBK Records had Vanilla Ice, and that became the secondary move. So Vanilla Ice came in, and as you can probably imagine, doing anything inside a Ninja Turtle suit is incredibly difficult work. It's hot, it's sweaty. It's tough. It's exciting, but it's very tough. So Vanilla Ice came on, and he had just had success with, I guess Ice Baby was already out, right? And so that's why people knew about him. He was just celebrating his 21st or his 22nd birthday on the set. They actually had a little birthday party for him. He showed up on set with a whole entourage of people. I mean, more than anybody needed. I don't know why they were all there, but I guess he needed protection or something. Got on stage, starts doing the song. We're having to dance and move and all this, and he kept forgetting the words to his song. So every time...
Ninja, go Ninja!
Like, it's not hard.
Make song!
He's a real sharp guy, evidently.
So every time he forgets, we got to do what's on a movie set called back to one, which means goes back to your first position. They go, cut, back to one. So in a turtle suit, it's everything you can do to be, go ninja, go. And then like, cut. It's like, oh, he didn't remember the words again. Go back to one. So you had to dance over and over and over again. And when you're in the suit and you're suffering like that, it's very easy to develop a lot of animosity to the person that's making you in this suit. Now, it wasn't personally directed at him. As a person, I didn't really know him. Except at the very end, I did have a question because I'm not hip. I wasn't cool. And at the end of his song, Ice Ice Baby, it ends with him going, word to your mother. And I was like, what does that mean, word to your mother? So I went up to Vanilla and Ice and I go, hey, man, I got a question. What does that mean when you say word to your mother? And he goes, man, it's like saying word to your mother for like having you and shit. And I was like, oh, okay. It's giving props to your mom for giving birth. I was like, that's cool. So y'all, word to your mother.
Word to your mother. All right. We got time for two here. I'm sorry, I didn't even notice the time here, but two quick ones here for you guys.
First one's more of a comment, then I do have a question. So, like, you were talking about the Othello Chucker and all that. Like, did you know, like, I'm obviously from the UK. Did you know that the first of all, the whole thing was rebranded as Hero Turtles, but then the movie was significantly cut. So I grew up watching this, like, I like memorized the movie basically, but pretty much every scene with nunchucks was missing because it was like banned as not suitable for kids. So, like, that wasn't in there. And then I got the DVD when I was like 20 or so, and I'm like, whoa, it's like a director's cut, because I'd never seen the full version, and I had no idea, and then I was like, what's going on? I looked at all that up. So, sidestepping a little bit, what I wondered about is, because some of you guys were in the suit, some of you guys were voicing, like, it's hard to keep track with the credits. Like, how many people were turtles in each movie, and how many people were voice, and how many times did that all change? It's just like, it's kind of a, what?
All right, here we go. You ready? This is Turtle Primer 101. All right, in each movie, there's 4 guys that play each turtle. The first guy we call the actor turtle, or the turtle in the animatronic suit. And that's a guy who wears a suit, and inside the head of that suit is 27 different electronic motors, or what they call servos, which operate the eyes and the lips and the cheek and the eyebrows and all that stuff. Now, underneath the backpack is a computer that moves all those servos and a remote control receiver. Because just off camera is the second guy that plays the turtle, and that's a puppeteer from the Jim Henson Group, or the Muppets. And they have this incredible remote control system with their hands, and they wore these headsets that had lasers that pointed at their lips and their chin, at their cheek, and most of them had English accents. So guys off camera being like, hello, what's up, dude? Cowabunga, dude. And that's what would make the turtle talk and look and see. The third guy wears a suit with no electronics in it and does all the fighting and all the action for the turtle. And then when the movie's done being shot, the fourth guy comes in and lays down the voice for the movie. So that's 4 guys: an actor turtle, a puppeteer, a stunt guy, and a voice. So in the first movie, I did all the action and fighting for Raphael. I was like the stunt turtle. And then in the second movie, I became the animatronic actor in the suit, and somebody else moved in to do the action and fighting. In the first movie, Ernie was in the stunt double suit for Donatello. But then in the second movie, he became Keno, the pizza delivery guy, and other guys filled in the turtle roles. When the movie was done, for the most part, Robbie and Brian then came in and laid the voices down with Corey Feldman for Donatello and Josh Peiss for the character of Raphael. So 4 guys that play each turtle, and as the movies went from movie to movie, there was a little bit of shuffling of who might be one of those 4 guys here and there to get all the way through the 3 movies. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and Josh was in a suit as well, right, in the first one?
Yeah, in the first movie, Josh was the animatronic suit actor, and I was the action performer. And then he's the one that sort of screws up the whole equation, because he's the only guy that was in the suit that did his own voice. So he got to do his own voice. Everybody else had professional guys like these come in and do them for him.
Cool, perfect, thanks.
Great question. Miss Frizzle!
Do y'all have a favorite species of turtle?
Ninja Turtle, of course.
Well played. What a way to go. That's the way to end a panel if I've ever heard one.
I will say this, and I'm not trying to shill books, but I want you guys to know this, because people come to panels and they love to hear these stories. I have this book that I wrote. It was an Amazon bestseller. It's all behind-the-scenes stories that answers all these questions and explains all these things about how the Ninja Turtles were made and who did what and who got drunk and who passed out and who screwed up and all that kind of stuff. It's on Amazon. I think here in Canada, it's only like $14 or $15. It's totally worth it. It explains all those things
It's really
in
a great
there.
book. It really is.
And it tells you all the stories. I'm sorry?
It's on Audible?
Yeah, it's on Audible, and it's me telling the story. It's 6.5 hours of this, telling you the stories. But the reason I bring that up is because 10% of all sales of the book go to the Sea Turtle Conservancy and support the sea turtles around the world. Yeah.
Amazing. So go to Amazon and get that. I can't say no. Real quick, if you guys got a question. Can't say no to kids.
That's Ainsley, right?
Ainsley. Do you still know how to do size? Me? Yeah.
Yes.
The question is, do I know how to use size, which is Raphael's weapon, and that weapon is one of the 5 traditional weapons of Okinawan karate. Mm-hmm. And I've studied several Okinawan karate systems, and that's part of the training that I go through.
Amazing. Thanks, everybody. I am sorry we get a little late there, but I hope you had a great time, everyone.
Yeah.
Big round of applause to everyone from the TMNT.
We love you. If we haven't met you,
thank you, all of you. You
Come
guys
by
are
and
awesome.
say hello. We love talking with you. We love meeting you. And you guys rock. Thank you for
Can we
being...
get a cowabunga?
Cowabunga!
So, what are we going to do tonight, Brain?
Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Watch Fandom Spotlite videos and then take over the world.
Hey, God, that's great! And maybe we should tell them all to have fun?
And follow their fandom. Then bow before my genius.